The evolutionary history of butterflies stretches back more than 100 million years, emerging alongside the earliest flowering plants during the Cretaceous period. The ancestors of modern butterflies were small, nocturnal, moth-like insects that gradually adapted to new ecological opportunities created by angiosperms, the flowering plants that began spreading across Earth's landscapes. These early lepidopterans possessed scales on their wings, a characteristic that remains central to butterfly identity today. But their patterns were simpler, and their lifestyles were closely tied to the vegetation they fed upon. As flowering plants diversified, so too did these ancestral insects. Over millions of years, certain lineages transitioned from nocturnal to diurnal habits, taking advantage of daylight for feeding and mating. This shift marked the early origins of butterflies, insects with brightly colored wings, specialized proboscises for sipping nectar, and life cycles dependent on specific host plants. By the Paleogene period, the major butterfly families were beginning to take shape, including groups recognizable today, such as the swallowtails, whites, brush-footed butterflies, and blues. Fossil evidence, though rare due to the fragile nature of butterfly bodies, shows that early butterflies already possessed many of the defining features seen now: patterned wings, clubbed antennae, and complex metamorphosis from caterpillar to adult. The relationship between butterflies and plants intensified through coevolution, with caterpillars becoming increasingly specialized in their diet, while plants evolved chemical defenses. This evolutionary arms race helped drive the immense diversity of butterfly species found today. With over 19,000 species distributed across nearly every continent except Antarctica, butterflies represent one of the most successful and visually striking branches of insect evolution. Unlike many other species that have been domesticated for labor or companionship, butterflies have never been domesticated in any traditional sense. Their delicate physiology, short lifespans, and complex metamorphosis make them unsuitable for controlled breeding on a scale associated with domesticated animals. While silkworms, which belong to the moth branch of the Lepidoptera order, were domesticated thousands of years ago for textile production, butterflies followed a different path, one rooted firmly in the wild. Humans have long admired butterflies for their beauty, but any form of captivity or managed rearing tends to be temporary and focused on conservation, education, or release into natural habitats. Butterfly farms, which raise caterpillars to adulthood, do not constitute domestication, but rather controlled environments designed to support wild populations and supply butterflies to botanical gardens, exhibitions, or restoration programs. Their evolutionary trajectory favored fragility, mobility, and intricate ecological dependencies rather than traits that align with domestication. Despite the lack of domestication, butterflies appear prominently in ancient civilizations across the world. Their ephemeral beauty and transformative life cycle made them powerful symbols in art, mythology, and spiritual traditions. In ancient Mesoamerica, butterflies represented the human soul. Aztec culture viewed them as spirits of fallen warriors or loved ones who had passed on, returning briefly to the living world in dazzling form. Greek civilization associated butterflies with the psyche, both as a word meaning soul and as a symbol of human transformation. In parts of East Asia, butterflies were tokens of joy, long life, and enduring love, frequently depicted in pottery, silk embroidery, and poetry. Yet, unlike horses or bees, butterflies did not serve practical roles in agriculture or warfare. Their significance was cultural and symbolic, rather than industrial or militaristic. Although butterflies had no direct role in warfare, they influenced ancient trade and cultural exchange in more subtle ways. The vibrant wings of certain species were used in art or adornment, sometimes incorporated into jewelry or ritual objects. In some regions, butterfly motifs were traded across long distances, appearing in textiles, carvings, and pottery as symbols of prosperity or harmony. The movement of certain butterfly species, especially migratory ones, subtly shaped human understanding of seasons and climate. Ancient societies that observed butterfly migrations often linked them to agricultural cycles or spiritual rituals, seeing them as messengers of environmental change. While butterflies could not pull chariots or carry goods, they contributed to ancient thought in a different way, through symbolism, seasonal awareness, and ritual significance. Early human industries involving animals rarely included butterflies, but these delicate insects found indirect roles as interest in natural history grew. In many cultures, butterflies were collected for study or display, inspiring some of the earliest scientific illustrations. During the Enlightenment, butterflies became central subjects for naturalists seeking to understand taxonomy, metamorphosis, and biodiversity. They played a particularly important role in the development of evolutionary theory. The variation and mimicry seen among different species helped scientists understand adaptation and natural selection. Before modern photography, butterfly specimens were traded among collectors, scholars, and explorers, forming a niche industry centered on the beauty and scientific value of preserved insects. Though not domesticated or trained, butterflies nonetheless influenced intellectual industries, sparking curiosity and contributing to the advancement of entomology. Modern butterfly-related activities focus on appreciation rather than labor or sport. Butterfly watching, similar to bird watching, has become a popular hobby in many parts of the world. Guided tours in butterfly-rich regions offer enthusiasts the chance to observe rare species in the wild. Butterfly gardens and conservatories allow people to interact with these insects in controlled environments designed to mimic natural habitats. These spaces contribute to education, conservation, and tourism, rather than athletic competition or work. Because butterflies are too delicate for any form of performance-based activity, their value lies in observation, understanding, and preservation. Butterflies have never played a role in agriculture or physical labor, but they are central to the ecological functioning of natural and agricultural landscapes. As pollinators, adult butterflies contribute to the reproduction of numerous plant species. While bees are more efficient pollinators, butterflies help maintain biodiversity by transferring pollen across greater distances and visiting plants bees often overlook. In this way, butterflies have indirectly shaped agricultural systems by supporting plant health and diversity. Their caterpillars, on the other hand, sometimes feed on crops or ornamental plants, but they do so within natural population limits that rarely cause large-scale agricultural damage. During periods of industrialization, butterflies were primarily objects of scientific interest. Collectors, entomologists, and explorers gathered specimens from around the world, often contributing to large museum collections. These efforts helped scientists map global biodiversity and deepen their understanding of evolution, ecology, and biogeography. Butterflies symbolize the natural world at a time of rapid industrial change, reminding people of fragile beauty and the importance of preserving wild spaces. In therapeutic and emotional contexts, butterflies have played a surprisingly powerful role despite their fragility. Their life cycle, from egg to caterpillar to chrysalis to adult, has made them enduring symbols of transformation, growth, and renewal in psychological and spiritual traditions. Butterfly release ceremonies are sometimes used in grief counseling, memorial events, or wellness practices, offering symbolic closure or new beginnings. While butterflies cannot participate in hands-on animal therapy like dogs or horses, they contribute to therapeutic environments through symbolism and environmental presence. Watching butterflies in a garden or conservatory can induce calm, reduce anxiety, and foster mindfulness. Their graceful flight patterns, vibrant colors, and association with change resonate deeply with people experiencing emotional or psychological challenges. Many therapeutic programs incorporate butterflies into art therapy, guided meditation, or nature-based healing, highlighting their ability to inspire hope and reflection. The emotional bond people feel with butterflies stems from their delicate beauty, seasonal presence, and representation of transformation. For many, encountering a butterfly is a moment of stillness, a tiny reminder of nature's complexity and resilience. In a world often dominated by speed and noise, butterflies invite pause, wonder, and contemplation. Their presence in gardens, parks, and wild meadows offers a peaceful counterbalance to modern life. Through symbolism, emotional connection, and gentle inspiration, butterflies have become quiet but meaningful companions in the human experience. Butterflies have long held a central place in art, literature, and mythology, their vibrant colors and delicate movements inspiring humans across cultures and centuries. In visual art, they appear in ancient frescoes, silk paintings, ceramics, and carvings, often symbolizing transformation, beauty, and impermanence. In Japanese art, butterflies are often paired with flowers to symbolize joy, marital harmony, or the fleeting nature of life. While in European Victorian-era illustrations, they became popular symbols of elegance and the wonders of nature. Literature across the globe draws on butterflies as metaphors for growth, transformation, and the delicate balance of life. Poets and writers frequently evoke their metamorphosis from caterpillar to chrysalis to winged adult as an allegory for human change, personal development, or spiritual awakening. Their recurring presence in storytelling underscores a universal fascination with metamorphosis, fragility, and fleeting beauty. Mythology surrounding butterflies often centers on the soul, renewal, and transformation. In Greek mythology, the word psyche not only means soul, but is also represented as a butterfly, symbolizing the eternal and delicate aspects of human life. In Mesoamerican belief systems, butterflies were seen as the spirits of deceased warriors returning to the living world, embodying the cycle of life and death. Native North American stories frequently depict butterflies as messengers or symbols of change, guiding humans in dreams or spiritual quests. In Chinese folklore, butterflies often represent love and longevity, and they appear in stories of devotion, courtship, and fidelity. While no mythology depicts butterflies as instruments of war or labor, their symbolic role in moral, spiritual, and emotional narratives is profound. Their life cycle and beauty have allowed them to become enduring cultural icons, bridging natural science with spiritual interpretation. The impact of butterflies on human society extends far beyond cultural representation. Their presence affects agriculture, ecological awareness, and environmental education. As pollinators, butterflies contribute to the reproduction of flowering plants, supporting biodiversity and healthy ecosystems. They often act as indicators of environmental health. Declines in butterfly populations can signal habitat loss, pollution, or climate change. Communities have increasingly used butterflies to promote conservation awareness, establishing butterfly gardens, sanctuaries, and educational programs to teach the importance of pollinators and ecological stewardship. Their beauty and symbolic value also enhance tourism, with butterfly festivals and conservatories attracting visitors who learn about biodiversity while enjoying a sensory experience. Psychologically, observing butterflies can evoke awe, relaxation, and mindfulness, fostering a connection to nature that benefits emotional well-being and social development. This indirect influence on human behavior demonstrates the subtle but significant role butterflies play in shaping attitudes toward wildlife and conservation. Despite their cultural and ecological significance, butterflies face mounting challenges in the modern world. Habitat destruction, climate change, pesticide use, and invasive species all threaten their survival. Migratory species, such as the monarch butterfly, are especially vulnerable, as their annual journeys span thousands of miles and rely on multiple geographic regions. Changes in temperature, rainfall patterns, and plant availability directly impact the availability of host plants and nectar sources, making populations increasingly fragile. Urbanization further fragments habitats, reducing connectivity between breeding and feeding areas and isolating populations. For species with narrow ecological niches, even minor environmental disruptions can lead to severe declines. As a result, several butterfly species are now considered endangered or at risk, prompting urgent conservation attention worldwide. Global conservation efforts focus on protecting habitat, restoring ecosystems, and supporting species with declining populations. Butterfly reserves, national parks, and protected corridors provide critical spaces for breeding, feeding, and migration. Ecological restoration programs often prioritize planting native flowers, shrubs, and host plants essential for caterpillar development and adult nectar feeding. Community involvement is increasingly central to conservation strategies, with local populations engaging in habitat monitoring, environmental education, and sustainable land use practices. Scientific monitoring, including population counts and habitat mapping, helps track trends and guide interventions. Additionally, citizen science programs allow enthusiasts to record sightings, contributing to large-scale data collection that informs conservation planning. By restoring and maintaining ecological balance, these initiatives support not only butterflies, but the broader health of ecosystems, including other pollinators, plants, and dependent wildlife. Technology has enhanced conservation and understanding of butterfly populations. GPS mapping, drone surveys, and digital imaging allow researchers to monitor habitats, migration patterns, and population densities more effectively than ever before. Artificial intelligence can identify species from photographs, aiding citizen scientists and professional researchers alike. Molecular techniques, including DNA barcoding, help clarify species boundaries, track genetic diversity, and understand evolutionary relationships. These tools improve conservation planning, making it possible to target interventions where they are most needed and to anticipate the effects of environmental changes. Technological advancements also support captive rearing programs, where threatened species can be bred in controlled environments for eventual release into the wild, increasing population resilience without compromising natural behaviors. Looking forward, the future of butterflies in human society depends on ethical, environmental, and technological considerations. Sustainable habitat management, responsible pesticide use, and climate adaptation strategies are essential to ensure butterfly populations remain healthy. Ethical debates often center on human intervention. How much should we manipulate breeding, release programs, or habitat restoration to maintain species that are increasingly impacted by anthropogenic change? Education and public engagement remain critical. By fostering a sense of wonder, responsibility, and connection to the natural world, people are more likely to support policies and practices that protect butterflies and their ecosystems. The continued integration of technology, research, and ethical stewardship promises to enhance conservation outcomes while preserving the symbolic, ecological, and emotional value of butterflies. Ultimately, butterflies represent more than just delicate insects. They are vital participants in ecosystems, educators of humans about the importance of biodiversity, and enduring symbols of transformation and beauty. Their survival is tied not only to the preservation of plants and habitats, but also to the broader recognition of human responsibility in a changing world. With thoughtful conservation strategies, technological innovation, and community involvement, butterflies can continue to inspire, educate, and enrich human life while maintaining their essential ecological roles. Observing butterflies in the wild or in carefully designed sanctuaries provides moments of reflection, calm, and awe, reminding us of the fragility and interconnectedness of life. Through these interactions, humans gain insight into the resilience of nature, the beauty of adaptation, and the importance of protecting species that, though small and delicate, carry immense ecological and cultural significance. The ongoing relationship between humans and butterflies also has profound implications for ecological awareness and emotional well-being. By studying butterflies, people learn to appreciate interdependence within ecosystems, including the links between pollinators, plants, predators, and climate. In therapeutic and educational settings, butterflies help cultivate mindfulness and emotional resilience. Their life cycle serves as a natural metaphor for growth, renewal, and transformation, offering inspiration during personal challenges or transitions. Observing butterfly behavior, flight patterns, and interactions with the environment encourages curiosity, patience, and reflection, fostering a deeper connection with the natural world. In this way, butterflies continue to influence human culture, society, and psychology in ways that extend far beyond their ecological function. In conclusion, butterflies embody the intersection of nature, culture, and human imagination. Their evolution over millions of years, their role in pollination and ecosystem maintenance, their representation in art, literature, and mythology, and their value for education, therapy, and emotional connection make them uniquely significant. As global challenges such as habitat loss, climate change, and environmental degradation intensify, butterflies serve as both indicators and ambassadors for biodiversity and conservation. With continued technological innovation, ethical stewardship, and cultural appreciation, humans can ensure that butterflies remain vibrant symbols of beauty, transformation, and ecological resilience for generations to come. Their delicate wings carry stories of survival, adaptation, and inspiration, reminding us that even the smallest creatures can have profound impacts on human understanding and the health of the natural